Hey everybody, this is Ari in the Air. Welcome back to the channel. Stoked you're here. Today I want to share with you some lessons that I have learned from paragliding about how to be a man, what it means to be a man, and how being a good pilot and being a good man are just inextricably linked. I don't mean a macho man. I don't mean a tough, hard, egotistical show-off. No, I mean a real man. I mean an embodied, sovereign, actualized, serving man. All right? It's a big one. Man enough to listen? Ready? Here we go.
See ya.
See ya. Okay, so if you've ever noticed my videos don't have any ads, that's because I'm Patreon supported only. If you love this channel, consider supporting it at patreon.com/AirInTheAir. To get right into it, I'm going to talk about three things here. Let's just outline it. The first is the reality that pilothood and manhood are both achieved states of being. Number two is we're going to talk about sensitivity, what it means for a pilot, what it means for a man. And number three, we're going to talk about courage. Okay, so the first thing is that pilothood and manhood, personhood in general, womanhood too, these are achieved states of being. That means that just because your nuts drop down into your sack doesn't make you a man. And likewise, just because you own a paraglider and have flown it, that doesn't really make you a pilot. And in the same way that we kind of know that when you get your P2 rating here in America, that really doesn't make you a pilot. And in the same way, in our modern world, we have a very loose sense of what it means to be a man, what our rites of passage are, who helps us understand that, and what that means. So, it's important to recognize manhood is an achieved state of being. It is not a physical development. I'm not talking about a mature male human. I'm talking about a man. A good pilot is discerning and wise and humble, and a man is similarly so. He's also sovereign. He stands on his own thing. He's individuated, but he can also assimilate. He has the ability to be part of a community and an agent of his own. Agency and communion. So, tribal societies back in the day would basically, like, the first time they saw the young adolescent boy checking out the other girls in the tribe, they basically would kidnap him at night and enact a ritual slaughter of the boy. They would literally enact a killing of the boy, and then the elders of the tribe would do this, and they would say, the boy is dead and the man is born. And from that day on, the new man had new responsibilities. He had rites of passage. The rites of passage were typically endurance, fasting, physical pain, vision quests, right? Like in Africa, they make the adolescents put their hands in mitts full of bullet ants. In Mexico, they made their kids go walk out into the desert and fast for 10 days and eat peyote, right? There's like these different rites of passage. So they would celebrate the birth of a new man who had new privileges, new responsibilities, new rights, a new role in the tribe, in the village, in society. I think that what this means about paragliding and our state of manhood today is that we desperately need more community. Where are our elders? We need more community. We need to have more support. Men need more support in being men from other men. We need to spend more time imagining what it means to us to be an embodied man, and we need more community built around helping us be that every day, forgiving ourselves when we fall short, and celebrating us when we fucking hit the nail on the head. Okay? This is the same about piloting. We need more support in paragliding to help us know what it means to be an embodied pilot, a safe pilot, a competent pilot. We need support to be able to know where we are in our piloting career, in our ebb and flow of our career, how current we are, all these things, what we should be working on, what our blind spots are. We need more support. I very much think that men need men in paragliding, and not like a boys club, but like a men's group, right? Like there are amazing things that we can learn from paragliding, and if we treat it like a boys club, like it's only fun and we're just like kind of showing off for each other and trying to compete with each other all the time, we're fucking missing the radical power of transformation that paragliding and paragliding community can offer our development and our individuation as men. Okay, the second thing that I want to talk about is sensitivity. Typically, the idea of man being sensitive is deprecating. It is negative. But if you understand the way that the universe is shaped, then you will understand that sensitivity is one of the deepest and finest virtues a man can curate in his life and his self. So if you imagine that matter has complexified into life, life has complexified into mind, mind has complexified into soul, soul has complexified into spirit. These are stages of development that show that evolution is essentially a move of matter into complexifying orders. It is, as we get deeper and deeper, we get more and more complex. So if we look at things that are less complex than us humans, take, for instance, a mollusk. A mollusk builds a shell around itself so that it can insulate itself from changes in the environment. So as the water temperature changes, as the salinity changes, as the pH changes, the mollusk just hardens to the outside world. It protects itself from the outside world. Humans are so much more complex than mollusks, and the way this complexity manifests is our sensitivity. Humans' gift is that we are niche, adaptive creatures. We literally, our skin is so sensitive to changes in temperature, pressure, humidity, wind. We can feel the fucking wind on our whiskers. We can feel pressure in our ears. We can hear so well. Our eyesight is incredibly sensitive. That is to say that if we want to evolve as men, if we want to develop as men, we do not harden to the world. We soften to the world. We become more sensitive. We become more aware of what is happening in us. As a pilot, it's so obvious to me that at the highest level of paragliding is the highest level of sensitivity, that you can literally sense when there's air moving in the trees, right? You can tell that the leaves are blowing. You're sensitive to changes in the wind. You're sensitive to changes in the day. You're sensitive to changes in yourself, your own mood, your own physiology, how much you've eaten, how hungry you are, how thirsty you are. All these different, very subtle sensitivities get developed as a pilot gets more and more complex, more evolved, more developed. So the idea that the best pilots are the most sensitive pilots? Duh. That doesn't mean that with your sensitivity means that you have to follow all those things. No, when I have a awareness when I'm paragliding that I'm hungry, it doesn't mean I throw a fit. It means that I know I need to eat. When I have awareness that because I'm sensitive that my mood is changing, it's not that I have to go with that mood. It's that I have awareness of it and I can deal with it. A sensitivity. Okay, this is incredibly important for us as men to understand that society has told us that we shouldn't be sensitive, that we need to be tough and we need to be hard. But evolution is telling us the opposite. That the more developed you want to be, the more evolved you want to be, the more sensitive you have to become. Okay? It's a beautiful thing. And as you increase your sensitivity of your digestion, of your body, of your thoughts, of your mood, of your needs, of your desires, you can fucking make those things happen in the real world so much better than if you weren't sensitive to them in the beginning. Okay, and then the third thing I want to tell you about is courage. Courage is a virtue. Courage is one of the 4 cardinal virtues. Courage is the ability to do things that are difficult, to do things that you don't want to do. So when you develop a sense of courage, it comes only useful if you have sensitivity. Courage without sensitivity is foolhardiness. It's bravery. It's stupidity. When you don't actually, that you're not actually sensitive to where you are in your paragliding progression, if you just have courage, then you're trying things you shouldn't be trying. You're skipping the progression. If you're sensitive, you know that your courage is going to keep you diligently chugging along on your progression. So you have to have sensitivity first, but then you have to have courage. And courage is the ability to act on what you sense. It is sensitivity allows you to know what's true for yourself, and courage allows you to act on it, to share it, to let it be real, to make your reality into manifest reality, to make what is subjective objective, to make what is implicit explicit. Courage is a difficult thing for men in our era. It has been such a crux for me because I have had a tendency to want to bring and keep harmony in my relationships, which means that I have reduced my ability to be courageous and say what is really fucking true for me. It has made me want to be accepted by people, so I kind of like follow along a little bit sometimes, more than I should. So now as I commit to developing my sense of courage, it is to know what is true and right for me and to say it and to act on it and to act on it every day. In paragliding, this is the courage to walk down from launch. It's the courage to go out and land. It's the courage to push deeper sometimes. Sometimes I know that's true for me. That's real for me. Today I'm pushing. I know that. I feel that. And today I'm have courage for that. But courage is not bravery. It is not foolhardiness. It is not stupidity. It is not just pushing. It is the ability to act on what is real and to do things that are difficult. And this is so incredibly important in men because we got to fucking stand up for what we believe in. We have to stand up for our values, which means we got to be sensitive to what our values are. Can't just fucking let ourselves be blown around by the whims of society, by social pressure, by what people want us to say. We have to find our path and walk it. I think it maps over to paragliding perfectly. And I hope this is helpful. If you like these videos, please consider supporting me on Patreon. I'm giving my top tier patrons one-on-one coaching calls. I'm also sending them free paragliding gear. That's custom. It's sick. So I really appreciate you watching. Please consider sharing this video. And also, if you have comments or questions or elaborations or your own experience, please put them in the comments below. There's a huge community here growing of men who want to evolve and want to become better paraglide pilots and better men. Okay, so we need to support each other, and I'm so happy to be able to have the courage to fucking say it out loud that I need support as a man, and I know you do too, and I got your back, all right? Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.